How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's go right into this review and see what I saw. So the other night I had the pleasure of checking out an awesome and excellent Oscar-nominated film that really got snubbed by the Oscars by a lot of the critic stuff because, unfortunately, the main actor and the director of the film, unfortunately, had some sexual harassment issues against him. So, unfortunately, he really got snubbed for this film, but it was a really awesome and amazing film. And that film happens to be The Disaster Artist. Now, this was a really clever and very well told story. It was very interesting, very unique, and just interesting that this one gentleman, with all the money he has, decided to make his own film and decides to basically, try to make a Hollywood picture, as he called it. Now, this film is none other than directed by Mr. James Franco. Now, James Franco, like I said, unfortunately got snubbed a lot for this because of that unfortunate allegation against him. But at the same time, I think he directed it very well and very beautifully. Now, he actually has quite a few other directing credits besides acting credits as well. A couple films that he's directed, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing them, but I have heard of them, and I do remember when they came out. One of them happens to be a movie from about 2003, I believe it was, and that's the film The Ape. Now, The Ape was an interesting film, I've heard. It was kind of like his first directorial debut, and for what it was, a lot of people enjoyed it and liked it. I remember seeing on, magazines and on TV and stuff, reviews for the film, and saying that people were impressed with it, and thought it was an interesting and kind of funny satire comedy film. But other than that, I don't know much about the film, but I remember seeing the cover when I went to, rental stores back in the day, and just remember going, I should check that out. It's got Franco in it. That should be interesting. I wonder if this will be any good. And I didn't realize it was directed by him, though, until just recently, and I thought that was quite interesting. Another film that he directed that I have not had the pleasure of seeing is another film that came out a couple years ago, and it's called Child of God. Now, Child of God, I heard, is supposedly a kind of like a thriller, mystery, kind of horror type of film. And it has to do with, this thrilling aspect, basically, where this mystery has to be solved. It's got a nice and huge cast. Franco, once again, leads the film and has quite a few other great actors and actresses involved in the film. And this is another one that I haven't seen much about, but I've heard good things about it. And I definitely found it interesting that, he's actually done so many directing credits besides The Disaster Artist, and I found that really unique. Now, a couple movies that I really enjoyed that I think he's a fantastic actor in are such films as the awesome 2013 film and supposed kind of sequel to the 1938 classic, or 39 classic, I should say, of The Wizard of Oz, and that is the film Oz the Great and Powerful. Now, this awesome film was just fantastic. It was a great sequel / kind of reboot of the franchise, and just a really awesome animated film. It had great, CGI work for its time. It was really awesome in 3D. I had the chance of seeing it in theaters, and then it just had a great cast, too. I mean, you had Michelle Williams, and you had Rachel Weisz, you had many other great actors and actresses involved in this, and it was just a really fun film. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fantastic. I really liked all kind of flushing out the story, kind of giving us this prequel film that kind of shows us how the Great and Powerful Oz becomes the Great and Powerful Oz, and just what he went through and what led to the Wicked Witch of the East being the way she was, and what happened to the other witch sisters and Glinda of the North and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool that they decided to go back and kind of reintroduce us to those characters, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought Franco was really good as the Oz of the Great and Powerful. I thought he was really fantastic, and he really made the film enjoyable. Another great film that he was in that I really enjoyed and thought it was just a fantastic film is none other than awesome film, amazing film, fantastic film, is The Pineapple Express. Now, this is probably one of my all-time favorite movies of his. I absolutely love his character in this film. I think Saul is a really hilarious and awesome character. Super funny, super hilarious, just really kind-hearted, has a lot of great, goodness to him and wants to do good and so forth. And I just think he did a fantastic job in that film. I really enjoyed his character and thought he did a really amazing job and just, kicked butt in it and was a really good pairing with Seth Rogen in the film. But with directing and acting in The Disaster Artist, I thought he was fantastic. I think he made a great film and at the same time really brought, to life who, Wizzo was, who he was, what he was going through when he decided to make the film The Room. He embodied him and he was so fantastic at it. I was really impressed with his directing and acting in this film, and I thought that he should have gotten way more credit, just, even though, these stupid allegations and stuff like that. And he just was fantastic. I really enjoyed him in it, and I thought he did a really good job. Really well done directed, too. Just gave us a great story, great new, thoughts behind it, and just gave us a really cool story and comedy kind of biographical film to view. Really good job. Really well done. We also have, starring in the film, none other than Mr. Franco's brother himself, Dave Franco. Now, Dave Franco we might recognize from a slew of films over the years. We might recognize him recently getting married last year to an awesome actress, Alison Brie. But a couple films I really enjoyed him and thought were some of his best were none other than the awesome Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill film, 21 Jump Street, which was just an absolutely hilarious and awesome kind of full-on movie and kind of homage to the original TV series. And Dave Franco's character in that was just really hilarious and fun. He was like really pathetic, but at the same time super funny and just really awesome in the role. I really enjoyed his character, and I thought he was a great addition to the film. Now, another great film that he was in that I really enjoyed and thought was a fantastic film is none other than an awesome 2012, I believe, film that came out. And that is the film with Zac Efron, Neighbors. Now, Neighbors is just a really fantastic comedy film, too. You got Seth Rogen in it. You got Zac Efron, like I said. You got, great cast. Lisa Kudrow's in it. Just really fun. And I thought that Dave Franco's character in it being kind of like the best friend of Zac Efron was really awesome and funny. I thought he did a really good job at playing that character and being like kind of like this genius guy, but at the same time kind of being this big time, frat guy. And I just thought he did the role really well. I thought he was a great addition to that film and just made it very fun and entertaining and was just one of his best films, I feel, that he was in. But when it comes to The Disaster Artist, I thought he played, the character very well. I thought he was very interesting at the character. I thought he did justice for the gentleman that he's portraying in the film. And I think that even the gentleman himself was impressed with, Dave's ability to, acting the role. And I thought that, both the Francos worked so well together and really showed kind of like that brotherly bond, which these two guys had, Tommy Wiseau and that gentleman, and just how they really connected and how they were kind of like best friends, but they considered each other kind of brothers and family. And that's what I feel like the Francos really did very well together, and Dave really portrayed that very well and made a fantastic film. We also have starring the film a funny actress that's been around for quite a few years and has done some pretty interesting roles. Mostly she's played kind of like these ditzy kind of roles and kind of like, meanie girl type of characters. But I think that she did justice in this film. And that is Miss Ari Grainer. Now, Ari Grainer you might recognize from such films that I have enjoyed and think are just funny films, such as the awesome Jonah Hill film, The Sitter. Now, she plays kind of like the love interest in the film that's, Jonah Hill's trying to impress and try to do things for. And she just played the role so funny. She was so, like, psycho and, like, so needy and just, like, so evil in the film. But at the same time, you just kind of laugh at her and think she's hilarious. And I thought she played that role very well. And she made the film entertaining, coinciding with, Jonah Hill and everyone else that was involved in the film. Sam Rockwell, stole that movie, though, still. But his interaction with Ari was just super funny, too, and I thought was a really fantastic job. Really great movie, really enjoyed it, and thought it was very well done. Another film that Ari was in that I think is a fantastic film, just a really good directorial debut as well, and that is the film Whip It. Now, Whip It you might recognize from the title, starring, Ellen Page, and also starring Juliette Lewis. You also might recognize it being directed by the awesome Drew Barrymore. But I thought it was interesting that I totally spaced that was Ari Grainer in that film, playing one of the characters on the roller derby team. And she was actually really fantastic in that film. I think this is my all-time favorite role of hers. And I thought she was really fantastic as that one character on the Mayhem team. And she just played the role so, like, classically and, like, was so professional and just really funny and really awesome in the film. And I thought she played the character to the T and was just, like, embodiment of that character. Really great job in that film, and I really think she was directed very well by Drew Barrymore. But in The Disaster Artist, I really enjoyed her role as, the female character that's supposed to be in this movie they're making. And she played the role very funny. She was very sincere, but at the same time, you're kind of seeing kind of like a more softer side to Ari. And so I thought she did a really fantastic job doing that. And I thought she did justice for the, actual actress that, was in that film. And I think that they both worked very well together and were very accurate in how she portrayed her. I thought it was a really fantastic role, and she was a great addition to that film as well. I think she was very well casted, and I think, James saw that, good and actress ability in her, and, it really pulled through and made the film really fantastic. Another awesome actor that was in this film that was a real pleasure to see in the film was none other than the producer himself, too. He produced the film, he helped write it, and that is Mr. Seth Rogen. Now, Seth Rogen you might recognize from Freaks and Geeks, Knocked Up, 40-Year-Old Virgin, a whole bunch of other films. But a couple films I really thought he was fantastic in were such films as the awesome 2013 film, also with Franco, The Interview, which I think was a fantastic and hilarious film. I know that now, since doing that film, Seth Rogen's like, I don't know why we did that film, but at the same time, I think it's absolutely hilarious what they did with it, what it was about, and just like how silly and funny it was. And I thought his character in it was really fantastic and super funny. Really hilarious and just fun to watch. I absolutely think it's, perfect and just really awesome. And I think he just did a really good job in that film. Super hilarious, too, I thought. Because, like, some of the lines he has and some of the things he has to deal with were just super hilarious, too, as well. And it just made a great film. He was really awesome in it, and it just was a fantastic and entertaining film. Another great film that he was in, and I think is one of his best too as well, is none other than an awesome 2007 film that's based loosely on his childhood with his lifelong friend Evan Goldberg. And that is the film Superbad, which was a fantastic film. He was absolutely hilarious as a cop in that film. Him and Bill Hader together, it was just priceless and perfection. They were so hilarious and just, it was so funny and just really nice that he kind of paid homage to that, that supposed situation that happened and that, that happened to the supposed person he knew growing up in Canada, and just like how funny and just how heartwarming it kind of was. And I think that he just played that cop character so fantastic, was so funny, and just was a great addition to that film. That whole film is just really fantastic. Everyone involved, from Jonah Hill to Michael Cera, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, that's involved in it, Emma Stone. It just was a really well-rounded film, and Seth Rogen was a great addition to that film. But in The Disaster Artist, I really enjoyed that he got to play kind of like the second unit director character, and that he was kind of that person that was like trying to, help Tommy to make a better picture. And I thought Seth did a really good job of portraying that character. He really, gave us the essence of what probably went on and just how it could have been. And I thought he did a really good job and just made a fantastic role out of that character. Just really profound performances by everyone involved, and he just was another exception to that, performance, and just was a really joy and made the film even more entertaining. And I just absolutely think everyone involved was so fantastic. Really good job by Seth in that too, and did a really good job. Really enjoyed his character. So, to round out this awesome cast, we have none other than Mr. Leak himself, Mr. Andre, Mr. Tundra Andre, Paul Scheer in this film. He was also another great addition to this film. Now, a couple films that I really enjoyed him in and forgot that he was in and that I thought were fantastic roles were such awesome roles as in the awesome film from 2008, I believe, starring Eddie Murphy called Meet Dave, where he plays Officer Kneecap. And this movie is just absolutely hilarious and just Such a fantastic film, really funny, really hilarious. But Paul Scheer's character was really hilarious in it too. I thought he was a great addition to that cast of that film, and he just played that role so like very Andre-like from The League, and he just was like super funny. But at the same time, you're like you could see the like his mind, twirling and twisting and thinking, and like just some of the things he comes out with in those scenes that he's in, and you're just like laughing so hard because they're just so stinking funny. Thought he was fantastic in that film. Really enjoyed him in it, and thought he was a great addition to that film. Now, another great film that he was in that I really enjoyed and thought was a really good and really funny remake, and that is the film School for Scoundrels, which was a fantastic remake and comedy film. Now, this movie stars Billy Bob Thornton, John Heder, Louis Guzman. A huge cast. Dan Folger. But at the same time, the awesome Paul Scheer is actually in this as one of the guys that's in the class with John Heder's character. And I think it's absolutely hilarious, some of the lines he says in the film, and he's like trying to be tough and stuff, and then, somebody says something and he's like, ooh, and stuff like that. He was just super funny. And I thought he was a really great addition to that class and that film itself, and just making it funny and hilarious. Just a really funny remake, a really funny film, very well directed, and just really all well rounded. Paul Scheer was a picture perfect delight in it. It was a great addition, like I said, and just really amazing the film. I really enjoyed his character, and I can't wait to see more performances by him and such things like that. But in The Disaster Artist, I really enjoyed him as kind of the other second unit director in the film. He played the role very well. I loved his anger moments. I loved how he yelled at Tommy and just how he played the character. It made it very realistic and very well done. It was kind of comedy, but at the same time a little bit of biography drama too. So I really saw kind of more of a straighter side of Andre or Paul Scheer from this film, and I thought he did a fantastic job. Really enjoyed it. Thought he did a really good job. And I think he, has a great career ahead of him. He's a great writer. And I thought he was just fantastic in the film. Really enjoyed him in it. Really well done. So if you're not familiar with what The Disaster Artist is about, basically what the premise of the film is, it's basically showing you these two factual people that got together and decided to make this film called The Room. It being starred and directed by this gentleman named Tommy Wiseau. And basically it's about that whole escapade that happened with them trying to film it, and kind of how they grew as a friends together, and basically what their life was like, before and after making that film. And that's pretty much what the whole film is. It's like an awesome comedy drama biography. And I thought they did a really good job, like I said. I thought Franco did an amazing job, did a great, amazing feat, and just made a great film. This was just a very fantastic film. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was really well done. And, can't wait to, see it again, because it was just so fantastic. I can't wait to own this in my collection. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on it. Such a great film. So amazing, so fun, and I just can't wait to see it again, like I said. Just a really great film. Very enjoyable and really well done. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, if you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome videos I do, or any of the awesome videos I do. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, check out that awesome link down below about the awesome horror pack. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know what the horror pack is. It's an awesome subscription service, 4 DVDs or 4 Blu-rays to your door every month of awesome horror films. And each box comes with a limited edition. So if this is something that interests you, let me know in the comments so we can hook you up with a discount on your first month. And as always, keep your eyes out for, the awesome Stardust app too, people. Because remember, this awesome Stardust app, especially if you love watching these little videos, or any of the videos on YouTube, what better way to watch awesome movie reviews, like for 3 to 30-second videos, about awesome movies that have just recently come out, or TV shows, or documentaries, or anything you can think of that your heart desires. So check out that app too on the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store, people. Download it and then follow me at Cyberneticshark, and I'll follow you back. And as always, catch you in the next one.